in what organization you belong? Who leads you? Are you an asset of it or not? Does your leader or you as a leader was effective enough? This presentation aims to help you to understand the concept of organization and how it affected by individuals' behavior, specifically in educational system. In the end, you will realize who you are or what kind of educational leader are you. Organization is the mainstream of management. Without an efficient organizational management, the institution will not work properly. In the management process, this organization stands as state that will try to combine various activities in business to accomplish predetermined goals. It is the structural framework of duties and responsibilities required to a personnel in performing various functions with view to achieve business goals. In the concept of scientific management approach, that is based on the concept of planning of work to achieve efficiency, standardization, specialization, and simplification, that approach to increase productivity is through mutual trust between management and the workers. Taylor proposed 4 principles of explicit scientific management: the scientific selection of the worker. Second is the management. The next is the labor cooperation and the scientific training of workers. Since we are referring to the person inside the organization, let's refer it to as individual of the school. These are the teacher, the administration, and the stakeholders who are motivated in their needs, goals, beliefs, and many more. Charot. In the concept of organizations, two terms was synonymous but not exactly the same. A leader's power comes from his or her ability to get buy-in from others' leaders, use their influence to challenge the norms, and guide innovation. As Ducker implies, leaders sometimes bend the rules to spark change. Peter Ducker aptly puts it, the only definition of leader is someone who has follower. To gain follower requires influence but doesn't exclude the lack of integrity in achieving this. Managers ensures that employees conform to standard and adhere to policies. They make sure that the goals of their leaders are carried out. They are capable and responsible, but their contribution to organization is strictly by the book. Managers are not the people to whom this management task is assigned, and this is generally taught that they achieve the desired goal through the key of function of planning, budgeting, organizing, staffing, problem solving, and controlling. A school head leads the school and community to formulate the vision, mission, goal, and school improvement plan. This is the leadership function. The leader sees to it to his plan gets well and implemented on time and ensure that the resources needed are there. The person to do the jobs are qualified and available. This is the management function. Imagine if the school head is not a leader. You have the vision, you have the mission, and you have the goal and the school plan, but no implementation. The plan is good only in a paper. If you do the task as of a manager only, you will be focusing on the details on the day-to-day basis implementation without the big picture, the vision, and the mission. This means that it is best that the school leader is both a leader and a manager. Now, let's move on to the types of leadership. Martinuzzi discusses the 7 different styles or leadership styles that works in a team or organization. These are the autocratic style, authoritative style, facilitating style, democratic style, coaching style, affiliative style, and laissez-faire style. Among these leadership styles, there are strength and weakness and do not fit in one organizations. Also, there are some leadership styles that can be appropriate in our organization and depends on the needs of the organization and the personality, including the member of the organizations. The flexibility of the style must be adopted by the member of the organization, stakeholder, and shareholders. It is significant to know what is the best leadership style that suits in organizations that may lead to its efficacy and efficient leader and management. These 7 leadership are common style that will develop leader and create impact to different organizations. As a leader, you are expected to show or perform the following. First is organizing. It involves the leader on how to divide the works to achieve common goals. It is the responsibility through the division of work. As a leader, you are expected to show or perform the following. First is organizing. It involves the leader on how to divide the works to achieve common goals. It is the responsibility through the division of work to produce an output or accomplish that may affect the organization or realization of objective. It requires an authority and training to define decision making. Next is planning. It refers to the process that involves the designing of goals and objectives to achieve. It is important because it reduces uncertainty in complex or unsolvable problem. Among managers, it is considered to future events that may affect on the outcome. Next is to monitor or supervising the organization if it's leading toward the goal, implementing or the realization of the mission, the goals of the objective, also the philosophy of the organization, and lastly, the making judgments or simply evaluation. In addition, she suggests different techniques to be an effective leader that works in our organization. First, know yourself. Next is understand different styles. Next is practice makes a leader. And lastly, develop your leadership agility. In a recent study published by Psychological Science, Andrew Haffenbrock and colleagues used 2 different concepts to investigate whether the concept enhanced present moment awareness that comes with the mindfulness without reduced sunk cost bias that is tendency to continue down a path once we have already made some of sort investment of time, money, or effort. The finding of this study suggests that even a brief doses of mindfulness and meditations may assist in improving decision-making and processes and outcome. So, leadership styles and theories may affect on the organization too. Keitner and Kinihi discusses the different theories include the theory and behavioral theory. Trait theory focus on the natural and personal characteristic of a leader, while the behavioral theory focus on how to behave, act, conduct, demeanor, or deportment of a leader instead of his or her personality trait. What affects you as a leader? The organizational climate differs from organizational culture. Climate is a short-term relationship that lasts for a few hours, days, or weeks, but not the culture. This refers to the mood of the person in the organization. Many members of the organizations are different and diverge from their beliefs and many ways of life. In other hand, the organizational ethos for teachers works. That refers to the unique and constructive and distinctive. They are unique and distinctive. They are created and recreated by the people considered as a member of the, including the teachers, parents, communities, among others. The collection of traditions and rituals may have built up in over times as teachers, students, teachers, and administrators. It is the guiding beliefs of our values evidently in the way of a school operates and the way of people perceive, think, feel about teams of people. It can influence the culture and change influenced by external context. The social background influences it. Changes in society to school culture is in a society pose challenges to school culture. It will affect that the teachers relate with each other, students, parents, administrator, and community. Teachers help their students by encouraging them to understand the school culture and influence and affect them. School culture affects how teachers define their work. School culture can also affect how problems are solved. The ways new ideas are implemented and how people will work together. A person belief system or values can change and adapt to the culture that is dominant in the school. Next is the collaboration. It refers to the situation of the two or more people working together to create or to achieve the same thing, according to Cambridge Dictionary. It brings teamwork and cooperation, bringing people with different skills together to find solution at a teamwork or a team-based basis and constantly defining the refining team goals. It's all about the win-win situation to both parties or to the whole team. An effective division of labor, it is a corporation of information from multiple sources, enhance creativity and equal solution toward the problem. It gives opportunity to grow the people and organization that build a stable and strong organization that recognized by the people involved. Just communicate your desire. As a result of an effective and efficient leader and management, it gives a job satisfaction. There are many theories that strongly signifies the significance and impact in the organization. This is explained by similar job satisfaction theories that have strong overlap with theories explaining human motivation, such as the Maslow needs of hierarchy theory, the Herzberg motivation hygiene theory, that suggests the job satisfaction and dissatisfaction are the two opposite ends of the same continuum, but instead the two separate ends at times even unrevealed concept. Motivating factors like pay and benefits, recognition, and achievements need to meet an employee to be satisfied with work. On the other hand, at the absence of the hygiene factors such as working conditions, company policies, and structure, job security, interaction with the colleagues, and quality of management, employee will be dissatisfied with their jobs. In the discussion on what are the benefits on the retention of the employee, it results in a minimal hassle of turning over of the workload to the newly hired employee and remain or develop its consistency. In addition, it lessens time on hiring and training new employee. In addition, the retained employee will become an expert on the field of office that increase the productivity that may enhance the client's or customer satisfactions. In contrast, when employee leaves the organization, it decreases their morale and the company reputation. Whether the employee retain or leave the organization, there is need to change. Kurt Lewins introduced his theory that explained on how to change the organization. His concept summarized in three simple steps: the unfreeze, change, and refreeze. In this three process, it is started on assessing the needs of the management support, manage the concerned problem that change, then change the organization. Change the organization must combination and open to all in order to empower others and get involved in the process. Lastly is the refreeze. This will happen if the set of goals was achieved and suggest to the organization that the success of the organization should be celebrated by the people involved. To change the organization, Morato suggests 5 steps in transforming the organization. First, seek the support of the stakeholder. Next, get people involved early and often. Plan a communication campaign to sell the innovation. Ensure that the innovation is understood by all, and consider the timing and pricing. Several theories allow us to explain organizational change and developments. This proposal can be grouped in different ways. According to the framework designed under the mode of change criteria and unit of change criteria, we define four different ideal change engine, according to Van den Ven, 1995. The life cycle theories, the evolutionary theories, dialectical theories, and the teleological theories. Life cycle theories, or simply regulated change, adopts the metaphor of, or analogy of organic growth of the organizational context as a tool to permit us to explain different stages of development. While in evolutionary theories, explain the change is a multi-entity of perspective. And in terms of degree of determinism, voluntarism, the theological current as a higher degree of determinism, such as popularity, ecology, and more deterministic ones, such as evolution or simply evolutionary theory. The dialectical theories or change because of the conflicts explain about the stability and the change by the balance between power and opposing forces. Changes are produced when one or more forces excels and break the status quo. And lastly, the theological theories or simply the intentional change. These are the characteristic by representing the organization directly towards specific objective. It is determined, adaptive, and structure its action in at the end, monitoring the way the development is given by a construct reformation of the objectives through constant feedback cycle based on the perception of the organizational problem. In an organization, there are two common dilemmas that exist: the cognitive bias and fallacies. These are two patterns that affect a personal criteria. A cognitive bias is a systematic pattern of deviation from norms or rationality in judgment, whereby inferences about other people and situations may be drawn in illogical fashion, while fallacy is the use of invalid or other faulty reasoning or wrong moves in construction of an argument. Fallacious argument may be deceptive by appearing to be a better than it is. Some fallacies are committed intentionally to manipulate or persuade by deception, while others are committed unintentionally due to carelessness rather, or ignorance. To conquer transformation, change, and other dilemmas, the leader should be possessed the following behavior among the leaders or managers of organization, including the self-awareness, self-regulation, self-motivation, empathy, and social skills.